As dawn approaches, the vast expanse of the sea lies calm and silent, bathed in the gentle hues of early morning light. The horizon gradually brightens, casting a soft glow that hints at the promise of a new day. On deck, the crew senses the subtle transformation, each member quietly preparing for what lies ahead. The air is filled with a quiet anticipation, as the familiar routines of the night give way to the possibilities of the coming hours. In this tranquil moment, the ocean seems to hold its breath, marking the delicate transition from darkness to light. Sailors have long relied on their acute senses to detect the earliest hints of the monsoon's arrival. By attuning themselves to the subtle shifts in the wind's sound and the way it brushes against their skin, they can anticipate dramatic changes in weather. These observations are not merely practical. They hold deep cultural meaning, passed down through generations as part of maritime tradition. The ability to interpret the wind's nuances is often seen as a mark of experiency and wisdom among seafarers. Such knowledge has shaped rituals, stories, and even the timing of voyages, underscoring the profound connection between sailors and the natural world. In many coastal communities, these skills are celebrated as vital to survival and prosperity.
The northeast and southwest monsoon winds each bring their own unique character to life at sea. The northeast monsoon is often steady and cool, creating a sense of calm and predictability during the voyage. Sailors find their routines shaped by its gentle breezes and clear skies, fostering an atmosphere of quiet focus and reflection. In contrast, the southwest monsoon arrives with forceful gusts and heavy rains, energizing the crew and infusing the journey with excitement and urgency. The mood on board shifts dramatically as everyone adapts to the swift changes and heightened activity. These alternating winds not only dictate the pace and direction of travel, but also influence the daily rhythm and emotional landscape of those who rely on them.
Ancient Malay sailors possessed an extraordinary ability to interpret the wind, relying not on instruments, but on their senses and keen observation. They could feel subtle changes in the wind's touch against their skin and discern its moisture, clues that hinted at approaching weather or shifting currents. By watching the movement and patterns of waves, these sailors gained insights into the wind's direction and strength. This intuitive understanding was honed over generations, allowing them to navigate vast and unpredictable seas with remarkable confidence. Their methods reflected a profound connection with the natural world, blending experience, tradition, and instinct into a seamless practice of maritime navigation. Throughout history, sailors faced the formidable challenge of predicting monsoon changes as they navigated vast and unpredictable seas. Their methods combined keen observation of the skies, careful attention to the feel of shifting winds, and the subtle cues provided by the ocean's currents. These mariners often relied on tactile sensations, such as the humidity in the air or the texture of the breeze against their skin, to anticipate seasonal transitions. In addition, inherited intuition, passed down through generations, played a crucial role in their decision-making. Debates among historians continue about the relative importance of each technique, with some emphasizing empirical observation and others highlighting the value of instinct and tradition. Ultimately, it was this blend of skills and knowledge that enabled sailors to adapt to the ever-changing patterns of the monsoon, ensuring their survival and success on the open water. The monsoon does not arrive all at once. Instead, it unfolds in distinct layers. Initially, gentle breezes signal the approach of the season, offering subtle changes in the air and sky. As days pass, these preliminary winds gradually intensify, building up to the full force of the monsoon's arrival. Recognizing each stage is crucial, especially for those whose journeys depend on the weather. Mariners, farmers, and travelers alike rely on these signs to prepare and adapt, ensuring their safety as conditions shift. Understanding the progression of the monsoon allows for informed decisions and safer passage through its powerful cycles. Veteran sailors often recount stories of the perils that arise from misreading the wind, especially during the unpredictable monsoon season. A sudden shift can catch even the most experienced crew off guard, leading to dangerous situations or costly detours. These sailors rely on more than just instruments. They pay close attention to subtle sensory cues: the smell of rain on the horizon, the heaviness in the air, and the texture of the wind against their skin, all signal changes in the monsoon's phases. Each phase carries its own distinct feel, and learning to interpret these signs is crucial for safe navigation. Over time, these sensory observations become second nature, guiding decisions and helping sailors avoid the mistakes that come from relying solely on technology. As the monsoon settles in, the crew makes their final adjustments to the ship, each movement guided by the shifting temperament of the wind. The sails are trimmed and ropes secured, all in seamless coordination. There is a quiet understanding among the crew, a shared intuition that comes from years spent at sea. The wind, unpredictable yet familiar, becomes both challenge and companion. In these moments, the boundaries between people, wind, and sea seem to blur. The narrator observes how this profound connection shapes not only the journey, but the very spirit of those who venture onto the water. It is a dance of adaptation and respect, where harmony with nature is essential for survival and meaning.
As you walk along the side of the boat, the gentle rhythm of the waves becomes a soothing companion. The sunlight dances across the water, casting shimmering patterns that blend seamlessly with the fresh, salty air. Each breath fills you with a sense of calm, as the vastness of the sea stretches out before you. The tranquil atmosphere invites you to relax, letting go of worries and simply enjoying the moment. Surrounded by the soft sounds of the ocean and the gentle sway of the vessel, you find yourself immersed in a peaceful and serene environment. Ancient Malay sailors relied on their keen observation of nature to predict the weather. By studying the shapes and movements of clouds, they could anticipate changes in wind and the arrival of storms. The direction and strength of the breeze, as well as the rhythm of the waves, offered further clues about what lay ahead. Among these sailors, there was a humorous tale that the clouds would whisper secrets to the wind, which in turn shared them with the waves. This playful story reflected their deep connection with the natural world, where every element seemed to communicate and collaborate. Through experience and tradition, these mariners learned to read these signs, ensuring safer journeys across unpredictable seas. Historians have long debated the accuracy of traditional forecasting methods. These approaches often rely on a blend of experience, intuition, and the art of careful observation. Some scholars argue that such methods, while lacking scientific rigor, can yield surprisingly reliable results when practiced by seasoned experts. Others point out that the subjective nature of intuition and personal judgment may introduce bias or error. Despite these differing viewpoints, there is consensus that traditional forecasting reflects a deep understanding of environmental patterns and local knowledge. The interplay between learned experience and instinct remains central to these age-old techniques. Each subtle movement of the waves and every glimmer on the water's surface carries its own meaning. By observing these details closely, we begin to uncover the hidden stories that the sea has been telling for centuries. The gentle rise and fall of the tide, the patterns formed by ripples, and the shifting shades of blue all speak of nature's enduring rhythms. Through careful observation, we learn to appreciate the quiet language of the ocean, much like reading an ancient tale written by the waves themselves. This mindful attention reveals the beauty and wisdom that lie within even the smallest details of the sea. The boatman describes how to adjust the sails by observing the subtle signs in the currents and waves. He compares this process to learning a new language, one spoken by the sea and shaped by time. Each ripple and shift in the water offers clues, guiding the sailor to respond with precision. Over time, these patterns become familiar, allowing the boatman to anticipate changes and navigate smoothly. Mastering this skill requires patience and attentiveness, as the sea's language is ever-changing and complex. A young sailor recounts his experience during a voyage when a sudden gentle breeze caught him by surprise. At first, he was puzzled by the unexpected shift in the wind, unsure of how to respond. Through careful observation and a willingness to learn, he gradually understood the patterns of the weather and the sea. His story highlights how paying close attention to small changes can make a big difference in navigating challenges. Along the way, he found humor in his mistakes, turning moments of confusion into opportunities for growth. This blend of attentiveness and light-heartedness became essential in his journey, reminding us that learning is often most effective when approached with curiosity and a sense of fun. Sailors once relied on the harmonious blend of sound, light, and natural elements to navigate the open seas. These environmental cues formed a dynamic system of information, guiding them safely without the need for compasses or maps. The rhythm of waves, the position of stars, and the subtle changes in wind and weather all played crucial roles in their journey. By attuning themselves to these signals, sailors could determine direction and anticipate changes in their environment. This intuitive approach to navigation highlights the remarkable connection between humans and nature, showcasing an era when technology was shaped by observation and experience. As the journey comes to an end, there is a profound sense of being immersed in the vastness of the sea. Throughout this experience, learning to observe carefully and practicing patience have brought moments of tranquility. The gentle rhythm of the waves and the peaceful atmosphere offer a unique opportunity to reflect and unwind. Beyond the sights and sounds, the trip reveals its true spiritual value, reminding us of the importance of inner calm and mindfulness. This adventure leaves lasting impressions, enriching both mind and spirit. Before the first light of dawn touches the horizon, the shore of the Malay Peninsula lies wrapped in a gentle hush. The air is cool and still, broken only by the soft rhythm of waves caressing the sand. In this tranquil moment, the world feels suspended between night and day, inviting quiet reflection. It is here, along these timeless waters, that ancient sailors once prepared for their journeys. Guided by the subtle shifts of wind and the steady pulse of the sea, they forged a bond with nature that shaped their lives and legends. This serene beginning sets the stage for a story woven from the enduring relationship between people, wind, and ocean. Ancient Malay sailors developed a remarkable ability to read the subtle cues of the wind, transforming the shoreline into both their classroom and compass. By carefully observing the patterns of breezes and the shifting behavior of waves, they learned to anticipate changes in weather and navigate vast stretches of ocean. This deep connection with their environment was cultivated through patience and attentive observation, allowing them to interpret even the faintest whispers of the wind. Over generations, these skills became second nature, guiding their journeys and ensuring safe passage. The shoreline, with its ever-changing winds, offered endless lessons for those willing to watch and wait. In this way, the art of sailing was as much about understanding nature as it was about mastering the sea itself. The sailors begin their day with time-honored rituals, each movement practiced and precise. These routines are more than tradition. They help the crew attune themselves to the subtle rhythms of the sea. The leader stands apart, quietly observing the horizon and feeling the faintest shifts in wind and water. With remarkable intuition, he interprets these signs, guiding the crew without a word. The sailors respond instinctively, adjusting sails and positions in perfect harmony. Their coordination is almost invisible, a result of deep trust and shared experience. Together, they navigate the ever-changing environment, relying on skill and silent understanding. Growing up, I rarely paid attention to the wind beyond its obvious presence. It was simply something that rustled leaves or cooled a summer afternoon. But sailors see the wind differently. For them, each subtle shift carries meaning, a warning, an opportunity, or a change in course. Modern life often insulates us from these natural cues, relying instead on technology to interpret the world. Yet learning to read the wind's direction and intent has given me a deeper appreciation for nature's quiet signals. It's a skill born from observation and patience, connecting us to the rhythms that sailors have trusted for centuries. Experienced sailors develop a keen eye for the language of the sea. By observing the shape and movement of waves, they can detect the presence of distant storms or shifting winds long before instruments provide confirmation. Subtle ripples on the water's surface may signal underlying currents, while changes in wave direction can reveal the approach of land or obstacles beneath. The color and texture of the sea also offer clues, hinting at variations in depth or the presence of shoals. For sailors, reading these visual cues is essential, transforming the ever-changing ocean into a readable script that guides their journey safely and efficiently. As the sailors ready their boat, the air is alive with the sounds and scents of the sea. Rough hands coil ropes and check sails, each movement practiced and precise. The salty breeze carries the low murmur of voices where old proverbs are shared. Red sky at morning, sailors take warning, and when the gulls fly inland, a storm is near. These sayings, passed down through generations, hold more than poetry. They are distilled lessons from years spent reading the moods of wind and water. The creak of wood and the slap of waves against the hull become a familiar rhythm, grounding the crew in their shared experience. In these moments, tradition and practicality blend seamlessly, guiding every action as they prepare to face the open sea. Setting out to sea is a moment filled with quiet anticipation, where the boundaries between land and water begin to blur. The boat glides gently over the surface, responding to each subtle movement of the waves. There is a delicate conversation unfolding between vessel and ocean, a dance shaped by currents and breezes. As the wind brushes past and the water murmurs beneath, it becomes clear that both are storytellers in their own right. For those who listen closely, the wind carries tales of distant shores, while the ocean whispers secrets from its depths. Together, they invite us into a world of wonder.